What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Mercier. I do a lot of makeup reviews and tutorials and such. Today I'm going to be doing a foundation review on the BH Cosmetics BH Liquid Foundation Naturally Flawless. This has been reformulated and this is the relaunch. I just purchased it last week online. First of all, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. It's in like a matte frosted finish glass bottle. It's really nice. It is $8.99 on their website. I'm not sure where else you can buy it, but I bought it on their website. It comes in 18 shades. If you're not familiar with BH Cosmetics, it is a cruelty-free brand and just about everything they have is super affordable. This particular foundation is formulated with hyaluronic acid, and that was one of the things that kind of turned me onto this because I really have dry skin, I have eczema, and I have keratosis pilaris. So anything that can put moisture back into my skin, I am totally all for it, especially when it's $8.99. Some of the other things it says it is medium to full coverage, keeps your skin hydrated and younger looking, according to what they say on their website, and I think that has to do with the hyaluronic acid. It is said to have a natural satin finish. I'm in the shade 201. This is the lightest shade. So if you're interested in the rest of this review, just keep watching. This is me from the future that you're listening to and watching right now, because this is my second application of the foundation. This is the one where I wore it with powder. Instead of just wearing it on its own today, I actually wore it with a very generous layer of translucent powder, the Mercier translucent powder. First, you're going to see me apply it and wear it throughout the day on its own with minimal powder. On days that I have to work, however, my foundation will not hold up under the stress of my work without powder. I did wear it to work today for 9.5 hours with a lot of powder on, so you'll see me apply it that way. But first, you're going to see me apply it and wear it throughout a day without a lot of powder on it, so you're going to hopefully be able to see the versatility of this foundation. Now, if you'll join me, let's travel back in time to the version of myself that applied this foundation the other day and wore it with very minimal powder. Okay, so for starters, I primed with the NYX Angel Veil. I just put it right around here where my pores are the largest, like on my cheeks and right around my nose, just to kind of smooth it out because this foundation does kind of settle into my pores a bit. And I'm actually going to apply it with a beauty blender because it is the best way that I have found to apply it. I'm not going to use a brush because it is really thick. I'll show you. You can see, I mean, it is not going anywhere. That is a thick foundation. When I first put this on, I thought this did not look like it was going to blend out, but as you can see, it blends out pretty well. So I'm just going to do one layer on one side of my face and show you what it looks like as compared to the other side of my face. Okay, so here is one layer on one side of my face. As you can see, it's pretty medium coverage. I would not say that it is full coverage. Okay, so this is a fairly light yet uniform layer over my entire face. It's not really that the foundation is heavier over here, it's just that it is, my skin is a lot more even on this side of my face. But anyway, this is one layer. It does a pretty good job of just kind of evening out my overall skin tone. It's not caking up in any one area of my face, which I really, really love about this foundation. It seems to kind of melt into my skin really well. Everything is very even. It doesn't apply patchily. A word. It doesn't apply like in a patchy way, it just evens out my face. Okay, so now I'm gonna kind of go in and kind of build up in areas that I need more. And I have dry skin, and yet I still find this to be a pretty dewy foundation. Like I said, it's really thick, it's moisturizer-like, and it is not 100% full coverage. Yes, it looks like it has really good coverage on my face. It does, but I don't have a whole lot to cover up. Keep in mind, I did have to build this up to get this amount of coverage, and I am not gonna go any further with that because that is probably not in the best interest of the foundation. So I'm gonna leave it like this to get the most realistic finish. I am gonna do some concealer, just not a whole lot. So I'm only gonna put it just right here under my eyes, and I don't have problems with foundation breaking up there anyway. I am gonna leave my nose alone as far as concealer goes. I will powder it though. I'm just taking the tiniest bit, scraping off most of my applicator in this tube here and just putting it right there. Now when I use drier foundations, I like to put my concealer on first, because I have a hard time getting this concealer, since it is drier, to build on top of those foundations. This one is not one of those foundations I found. I can just paint concealer all over my face as soon as I've got the foundation on, and it will blend in. Okay, so I am gonna powder it just a tad. For that, I'm just gonna use my little Real Technique setting brush, and I'm gonna put the powder very lightly on it. I did wear it one day without powder. I did not notice it sinking into the lines around my mouth, which is something that is a pretty big deal to me. That is where my foundation, if it's going to crease, it will crease there. The lip balm I had on earlier like stained my lips, if you're wondering why it looks like I just ate a popsicle. And now just the tiniest bit in between my eyes, just to kind of take the shine down. I don't want to mess with the finish of the foundation too much. I do like the way this feels. It does not dry down completely to where you're not going to feel it on your face, but I will say that it does feel nice. It doesn't feel super sticky when I touch my face. I just need to be able to blend powder products on top of it. Very light layer of powder. Okay, so I've powdered it enough, but not too much that you won't be able to see just how dewy this foundation is. Even more close. Okay, see, you can kind of see that. It does sink into my pores, I will say, and I did put a smoothing primer underneath this. So that is something that you also might want to take into account if you have large pores. Okay, so I opted not to do like a middle of the day check-in because I honestly just didn't really see a point. It looked about the same until about like the 4 to 5 hour mark. And that's when I kind of started noticing it starting to break down, which is, you know, what I expected because that's what it's been doing. Like, I honestly don't mind the really dewy kind of natural look. My nose looks really good. I didn't do a whole lot today aside from go for a walk, and it was like in the 80s. So, you know, I didn't really drip sweat. I didn't wear mascara or eyeliner on my lower lash line because I wanted you to kind of see that the foundation did not crease. I think I had like the tiniest crease ever right here earlier, and I can't even see it now. Anyway, aside from that though, you can see it has not really broken apart around the edge of my nose, and that is quite the accomplishment. I think that this is awesome for that, and it is, as I said, a very dewy finish. You can see it in my pores, that's for sure, but again, I do not mind that. I don't really mind foundations that kind of show my pores. It just kind of depends on what look I'm going for. Like, of course, I like the all matte look. This, it's pretty much gone in certain patches here where I do have texture on my face. So if you have a lot of texture on your face, it's probably going to emphasize that texture just because it's a dewy foundation. I have had the foundation on now for about 8 hours. Any more than that, and I would have had to heavily powder it at the very beginning of the day. Anyway, aside from all that, I honestly really love this foundation. I love the way it looks. I love the way it held up. Yes, it is very, very dewy, so if you don't like that, you're not gonna like this foundation. However, I am a big fan of it. I think it makes my skin look like my skin. It doesn't really change the texture of my skin, and I actually really, really like that. I also really like the shade. Yes, it is lighter than like the rest of my body, but it matches my face and my neck. Décolleté. It matches this right here. And I want it to match my neck and my chest. I can't really have the best of both worlds, and I'm definitely not gonna drag foundation all over my neck and my chest. So it's a trade-off for me. I just match my face to my neck and my chest. The rest of my body can just kind of be its own thing because I just do not have enough time and energy to care. Alright, what's up guys? So I'm here to show you how my foundation held up while I was at work today under all of the layers of powder I put on it, as you saw. So this will wrap up this foundation review and demo just to kind of give you guys an idea of how it performs with and without powder. Anyway, this is the look at the end of the day. I wore this for, let me think. Okay, so I've had this on for 9.5 hours at this point, which is a pretty long time, pretty typical of me though, on days that I work, how long I'm gonna wear foundation. So this is what it looks like, and again, I caked on that Laura Mercier translucent powder earlier because this is a more dewy foundation, as you saw in the previous demo. So if I'm gonna wear something like this to work, I really, really have to layer the powder on, and so I did. And this is how it held up. So this right here, a little bit of creasing, not too bad, not too bad. You can see it kind of creasing around my mouth. That's not really anything I can't touch up if I need to. Around my nose, it actually looks pretty good. My upper lip looks really good. It usually is the first thing to kind of break apart, and it really looks good. So, I mean, all things considered, obviously it could look better, but after 9.5 hours, I'm really impressed. Obviously, this side creases better because my smile is kind of crooked. See how it kind of creases over here more? I don't know. My face is crooked. Whatever. Anyway. This obviously kind of wore off a little bit. That might have to do with the fact that I have my nose kind of runs sometimes when I'm at work and I'm running around because I have the worst allergies ever seen before in mankind, and I did not touch anything up today. So I usually take my IT Cosmetics Celebration, Illumination, Imagination, Motivation, PlayStation, Deforestation, International Space Station Foundation today. I usually will touch up if I need to when I'm at work, and today I didn't do it because I didn't really think I needed to, and I also didn't get a break because I was just working nonstop. So I really like the way it held up. Even though it's a dewy foundation, it looks really, really good. Usually, even if I wear matte foundation to work, I will still powder the crap out of it because I sweat my freaking butt off at work, and I usually just need to have that layer of powder kind of absorb any sweat, oil, whatever, to keep it from breaking my makeup down. So though I don't powder my face daily on the days that I work, I most definitely powder my face. So I don't often film on days that I work. Normally when I powder a foundation for work, by the end of the day, it still feels really dry to the touch, as in very, very dry to the touch. However, this one doesn't feel as dry to the touch as my matte foundations will. And usually I wear matte foundations to work just because they do a better job of holding up throughout the day. I think this held up really well, especially for a more dewy, hydrating foundation. My skin feels really good, and I like this foundation even with the powder over it because I think that it does a good job of still looking more natural. Like if you can see my forehead here, it is pretty, it's pretty dewy, you know, and these aren't creases. This isn't where the makeup creases. This is just wrinkles, fine lines on my face. Between my eyes looks really good. I mean, it has held up really, really well between my eyebrows. This has actually held up way better than most other dewy foundations or hydrating foundations that I'll wear to work. When I first pumped it onto my hand, when I first got it in the mail, and it was really thick, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is like really cheap and it's just thick and I don't like it. And I was just, but this has really just blown my mind. It matches me so well. I am pretty astounded, especially considering this is an affordable foundation, and usually if you're gonna have to find a foundation on one end of the spectrum or the other, you're gonna have to spend a little bit more money. And honestly, if I wasn't gonna do this check-in, I probably would have like taken a second, or like when I went to the bathroom or something when I was washing my hands, just gone and just blended those creases back out. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you find it helpful. If you do check it out, let me know how it works out for you. Let me know in the comments what your skin type is and if this actually worked out for you if you do decide to pick it up. If you're not subscribed and you want to be, please click the subscribe button. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I will see you next time, guys. Peace out.